For this control review, we're going to be talking about the GOAT. Greatest of all time. Well, at least greatest of all time in my eyes. Greetings, comrades. This is I'm giving Caleb back with another controller review. And I figured this time around, we're going to be going with, one of the best controllers you can get out for PC gaming, let's be honest. The Xbox Series controller. Now, if you remember my evolution of Xbox controller video, yeah, a little cut off there. You know how much I love this controller, and of course, you already know about the Elite controller, but that's for another video. For now, we're going to be focusing solely on the original, the standard Xbox Series controller. Now, this is the latest version of the Xbox controller, and it vastly improves over the original Xbox One series of controllers, in many ways. But yeah, I've been using this controller for a long time, and I've used the Xbox One controller for a while, but ever since I got this, I never looked back. So I immediately got this, then I got this new one, the blue one, a few years back. This is my PC controller. This is for my Steam Deck. And yeah, what do I think about it? Well, I love it, but let's go and get a little more into it. First, the feel of the controller. Now, as I mentioned, it fits really good in my hands. Like I said, I have big hands, so this fits perfectly, just like the 8-bit Ultimate controllers. These bigger controllers that fit perfectly in my hands. I don't feel any strain or discomfort while holding them. And, like I said, I'm used to this layout. I've been using this layout for nearly 20 years now, back in the original Xbox days to here. Even on PC, I gotta have an Xbox controller because I'm so used to the layout, and it just clicked with me. Like, I'm used to it. But if you're more into like PlayStation, like the symmetrical thumbsticks, this might be a little awkward for you. But hey, I use both, but I'm more partial to the Xbox layout. That's just me. But yeah, again, the feel of the controller, it fits perfectly in my hands. If you have fairly big hands like me, it's perfect. Smaller hands, it might still be manageable. But I'm pretty sure you might find a third-party controller out there that's suited for smaller hands, but I haven't found it yet. And as features go, it's pretty standard. Honestly, compared to the other two consoles, it's kind of lacking in special features. Whereas PlayStation has, DualSense, it has the haptic feedback, the adaptive triggers, the Switch controller has the gyroscopic movements and the NFC scanner. This has a share button. That's it. Like, you press this button, it'll take a screenshot. So it doesn't offer anything special, but given how much good this thing already does, I think I can let it off. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, I suppose. But they could have had something to it, like nothing like Kinect, please, God no. But as far as features go, again, it's pretty basic, but might as well go with the layout anyway. Standard Xbox layout, the joysticks, this faceted D-pad, which now I know it's called the faceted D-pad. I always call it a disc, but yeah. As I mentioned in my evolution video, the original Xbox One controllers had just a standard D-pad, which is still a lot better than the 360's D-pad. But this is an evolution of that. As we know, the Xbox Elite controllers introduced the faceted D-pad, which allows for better diagonal movements and just more ease of use. It's like they saw what they did wrong with the 360 D-pad, and they improved on it drastically, and this is what we got. And I've grown fond of this D-pad a lot. It's responsive and it feels good. And of course, got the start and select buttons, the option, menu button, whatever you want to call them. I call them start and select. That's what's been in my mind for decades, and hopefully that's what's in your mind as well. Of course, got the Xbox button, which, if you hold down the button while it's on, it'll turn it off, but you had to hold it for like 10 seconds, pretty much for like most of the other controllers. Of course, we got the bumpers, and triggers. As I showed off, if my phone will focus, there's a little bit of texturing on here, so it's easier to sort of get a grip on with your fingers and stuff. As I mentioned, starting with the Xbox One controllers, the triggers are a lot wider, so they're much easier for me to press. Like even when I'm on the edge, I can still press them. And the bumper, there's still a little bit of texture, but only just this small area here where my fingers are. This is the only part that's texture, but you can still reach them pretty well. In the back here, not much, just a battery compartment for AA batteries. 40 hours, pretty much a standard. Though they do sell rechargeable battery packs. In fact, 8-Bit Dough has like a special charging stand with 2 battery packs. I might get that one of these days for my series controllers here. Of course, bottom got the headphone jack and a little accessory jack, whatever you want to call it, for like the portable keyboards and stuff. And connection controller, Type-C, about what you expect. Nothing special, but again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I'm glad they went that way. Okay, now to switch it up to the blue one. And yeah, large variety of colors too. Which are natural. I got blue because again, blue's my favorite color. Black and blue is kind of my MO for my setup, even though I have green lights on here. But that's the kind of honor the Xbox here. But ease of use, it's an Xbox controller. It's really simple. If you don't know how to connect a Xbox controller to your Xbox or PC, then I don't know what else to say to you. Yeah, I don't know what that stuff is on the thumbstick there. Just a little dirt. But yeah. Pretty simple to use. If you use one Xbox controller, you use them all. It's pretty simple. Just hook it up, pick it up, and you're good to go. No special setup or anything. Though on PC, it's a bit of a different story. Like you might have a few issues getting it to work properly, but you can download the Xbox accessories app to the Microsoft Store. You can update the firmware of the controllers so they'll work and connect better with. Like, for instance, when I first got my Steam Deck, I had issues connecting the controllers. But it turns out all I had to do is update the firmware of the controllers, and then they connected flawlessly, and I was good to go. So, other than that, it's pretty straightforward to use this controller. Nothing special, nothing revolutionary, but a 5-year-old can figure it out. So surely you can. And reliability, it's a first-party controller, so naturally it's going to be good. Though that might be debatable these days. We don't know about the stick drift, which I haven't heard as much from the Xbox controllers, but especially the PlayStation 5 controllers and especially the Joy-Cons for the Nintendo Switch. Those are known to have stick drift issues over time. Not sure about these. I've had these for a while and the sticks still feel fine. Like nothing wrong with them or anything like that. So yeah, they're pretty reliable in my experience, though your mileage may vary. You might get a controller that might not be as good, or a messed up joystick. Like I mentioned, my old 360 controller over there, the left thumbstick sometimes sticks up, and yeah, just minor control things here and there. But other than that, it's a reliable controller. I've been using it for a long time, and it hasn't steered me wrong. Just gotta make sure the firmware is up to date, and I can use it on my Steam Deck just fine, and things like that. And as far as cons go, honestly, there aren't too many cons. If I have maybe one or two, one, it's not rechargeable, so you want, charging capabilities, I get a chargeable battery pack. But pretty much the big thing that it lacks special features. Like I said, the DualSense has a haptic feedback, adaptive triggers. The Switch has, NFC, gyroscopes and stuff like that. This doesn't really do anything special out of the box, unless you mod it for some reason. But, that's pretty much all I have to say about the controller. It's a very simple, but very reliable and all-around good controller. Yeah, again, the pros, it's... Again, you use one Xbox controller, you use them all, it's familiar for me, it's comfortable, it's reliable, and it just feels good. And again, the cons, doesn't really do anything special on its own, and it could have done with a rechargeable battery. Like even the PlayStation 5 and the Switch controllers, they have rechargeable batteries. This does not, but it could be a pro or a con. Like the batteries die, just replace it. Whereas with the other controllers, if the battery dies on those, you're screwed. You have to get another controller. But here, just replace batteries and you're good to go. So I guess I wouldn't necessarily call that a con, but apparently it's the only con for me. It doesn't do anything special, but is that really a bad thing? You know, you plug it in, it works, and you're good to go. Like, what else is there to say about it? So, do I recommend this controller? Come on. Yes, of course I recommend it. Like I said, I've been using this layout for years. It hasn't steered me wrong, and it's just reliable for me. I can't describe it any other way. It just works. It's perfect, not just for the Xbox, but it's perfect for PC too. You know, I use Xbox One controllers and I use these controllers. I had no issues. Honestly, other than the lack of special features, I really can't complain about this controller. And it's actually the cheaper of the first party controllers. Like, it's like $55 now. I'm surprised how much it dropped the price, whereas the DualSense and the Switch Pro controllers are still $70, so take that for what you will. But yeah, that is the Xbox Series controller. And I think for the next video, we're going to be talking about maybe this, or maybe this. I don't know. I'll just leave you guessing on that. So anyway, this is Domini Caleb signing out. You have a good day.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, go.